Hey guys, welcome to another nzpocketguide.com video. Today we are going to be covering the latest Immigration New Zealand update that covers everything that has happened since COVID-19 hit New Zealand to now, and how they are faring with it and what that means for your visa in New Zealand. Alright, so New Zealand has been hit by the coronavirus or COVID-19, but as you may know through the news, we've done pretty well. We actually did fight back through the virus and the whole country came together. But that also means that Immigration New Zealand was basically not working for about an entire month, and they're only now starting to get back to work. So there is significant delay for all the visa application, all the processes and everything, and that may have some consequences for you if you're on a student visa or work visa, if you're applying for any of those kind of visas, even on a resident visa. So we're going to go over the latest update right now, and I think we're going to get started with all the visa extension, actually the visa extension that's been granted to all of you.
Yeah, so if you currently have a visa for New Zealand, which is for work, a student visa, a visitor visa, or an interim visa, then it has an original expiry date between the 2nd of April to the 9th of July 2020 inclusive. Those that are in New Zealand by the 2nd of April will have their visas automatically extended, and you'll know if that applies to you because you'll basically get an email from Immigration New Zealand, and they will use the latest email that you have updated on the immigration website, so make sure that you have your emails up to date on there. Do you want to talk about visa processing?
Yes, so visa processing has been quite hindered by COVID-19 because Immigration New Zealand was basically closed for an entire month. So I don't want to say they did nothing for an entire month, but basically what they did is that they only focused on processing the visas for essential workers and people that were literally essential to the response to COVID-19 by the New Zealand government. So for this reason, basically nothing has happened for any other type of visa. It should be residency, students, working holiday, all of that, everything went to a standstill. So what's happening now is that Immigration New Zealand has hired extra staff. They have increased their capacity in order to be able to process visa a little bit faster and get back on track. So they are onto it right now, but they have created a little bit of a priority system. This priority system is means that only kind of selected type of visas are going to get priority first and are going to be treated as priority, and the rest of the visas are just going to come a little bit afterwards. So the visas that are getting priority are the residence application. So the Immigration New Zealand website says that application where the applicant is in New Zealand will be prioritized over applicants which are overseas. So if you are applying for residency and you are in New Zealand, that will be more of a priority than if you are overseas and applying for your residency. There is also an extra focus to any kind of essential workers or healthcare worker which are helping New Zealand with the COVID-19 response, and so those visas are also going to be given priority. And there is also priority on some visas which, you know, are not necessarily going to be essential or don't look really essential, but you know, visas which are related more to you know, essential work such as, like, you know, food and those kind of things as well are going to also be given priority in order for New Zealand to just get back on track as fast as possible. So that's basically where we are for all the visa processing.
All right, so there's also a temporary postponement of visa programs. So this doesn't apply to a lot of people, but just in case it does apply to you, there is some things that the government has decided to postpone for now, which is selections of expressions of interest in the skilled management category, in the parent category, the ballot restrictions for the Samoan quota and the Pacific Access category, and 19 capped working holiday schemes due to open in the next 6 months. Shall we move on to travel into New Zealand?
Alright, so traveling to New Zealand has been quite restricted lately, and for good reason, right? This is basically how New Zealand got its COVID-19 cases. There was travelers coming in, and then things are spreading, and it's not just from travelers, it was also from New Zealanders coming back home. But obviously New Zealand is taking more of a stricter approach right now. So what is happening now is that there are very strict isolation measures, and almost basically every passenger will have to isolate. Now, the case used to be that you could isolate at home. So let's say you're flying back, you are a New Zealander, you're flying back to New Zealand, you could have come and isolate yourself at home and stay home for 14 days. Now, it's not the case anymore. You have to go to government facilities for those 14 days. It's all prepared for you, it's all organized, but that means that it's way stricter of a measure. So you've got to know that. In short, don't travel to New Zealand unless you absolutely have to, and you're going to come to New Zealand for a long time. There's a lot of rules which are highlighted on the New Zealand website. I'm not necessarily going to go through that for forever, just because if you plan on traveling to New Zealand, expect you have to stay in government facilities for an isolation of 14 days. So if you're traveling to New Zealand, that just means, basically you should just be a Kiwi flying back home, or someone which is literally coming to work for, against COVID-19. Okay, moving on to transiting and departing New Zealand.
Alright, so the main thing to note about this is that the New Zealand border is closed to almost all travellers to help stop the spread of COVID-19, and that also includes transiting through New Zealand, unless there is an exception or a transit arrangement. So there are a few exceptions to this for Australian citizens, citizens of Chile, and a few other countries that it's worth going onto the Immigration New Zealand website if you are particularly from Australia or Chile and you need to transit through New Zealand, which I'm sure is a very small amount of cases, but all that information is on the Immigration New Zealand website.
I'm going to go through the list just so like that you heard it here, but yeah, so the list which have some exceptions, and they're all a little bit different. So you get Australia and Chile, as Laura mentioned, but you also get Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, China, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Ecuador, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Malaysia, Mexico, North Macedonia, Norway, Poland, Qatar, Republic of Korea, Singapore, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, United Kingdom, United States of America, and Uruguay.
Well, since we're going through the countries, we can also go through the approved transit hubs as well. So there are some approved places that you can actually transit through on your way to New Zealand or on your way out of New Zealand, and that's Canada, Japan, Malaysia, Qatar, Republic of Korea, and the United States of America.
However, the passenger must remain airside in the airport. You must not enter the country in order to be able to have that as an approved transit hub. Anyway, we know it's not necessarily the best news in the world, but we thought we'd give you a bit of an update about how everything is working right now in New Zealand regarding the coronavirus and traveling to New Zealand. But in short, until there is a new update and travel is made a little bit easier, remember you have 14 days isolation mandatory through the New Zealand government. So basically holiday travel in New Zealand is kind of a no-go right now. But if you are in New Zealand on a visa, or if you are currently applying for a visa, as you can see, things are starting to progress a little bit. So things are going to get back on track. It's not going to be perfect for the next couple of months, but things are going to get back on track. So there is hope at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Alright, so thank you very much for watching this video. We got plenty of information for you to plan your trip to New Zealand on nzpocketguide.com. We also do videos every single week in which we help people like you plan your trip to New Zealand. We do that live. We sit on this very couch right here and we answer questions. It's kind of fun to hang out together. And we also have a ton of videos right here on this channel to help you plan your trip to New Zealand. So make sure to like, subscribe, check out nzpocketguide.com. Everything is free and it's all fun and good. Until next time, bye bye.
See you later and stay safe.